Good evening, Kendalach, Shavua Tov, here to God willing record the beginning of the Maimer Acharon Shel Pesach Tuf Shin Chaf, or maybe better stated, Acharon Shel Pesach Tuf Shin Mem Zayin, or V'nacha Alav Ruach Hashem Tuf Shin Chaf. When I see that type of setup, it makes me think that the Rebbe said it in Tuf Shin Chaf 1965, and hand-selected it and possibly edited it for this publication in Tuf Shin Mem Zayin. About the occasion, Acharon Shel Pesach, talking 1987 here, and the Maimer could be named by the verse that starts it off, or it could be named by the occasion being discussed. So we're going to refer to it as Acharon Shel Pesach. So what did I hear? What did the frog say when his car was taken away? He goes, "Man, this is totally messed up. Totally." All right, learning to bind our souls to God, get pleasure, God hasten the redemption, and let's learn a little about Mashiach. V'nacha alav ruach Hashem, that the spirit of Hashem rests on Mashiach. V'recho b'yira avaya, and he smells with fear of God. I'm going to tell you that means he judges by using fear of God. He doesn't have to know all the facts and details. He can, in English they have an expression, sniff it out. He can just sniff it out with his fear of God. He knows what's flying. V'ger zev in kevis, and the wolf will lie down with the lamb. I'm talking about supernatural stuff like we had on the ark, and that when there's such a high revelation of godliness, the wolf and the lamb will lie down. And the Friedrich Rebbe explained in the Maimer with the same title as this one, that these verses that they're describing the prophets describing the coming of Mashiach, our righteous Redeemer, that he should come and redeem us right away. And it says a lot of things about Mashiach and how he conducts himself. First it talks about Melech Mashiach himself, the king himself, that the Spirit of God rests on him. Then it explains his conduct. Hashem, that he can sniff it out. We're going over the more Vedain. Then it talks about that the wolf lying down with the lamb. That he's going to conduct himself in such a way that he'll reveal godliness through the whole world. It's his job, is to reveal the godliness that's already here. He'll reveal so much godliness in the world, reveal the godliness that's already present. Not only by the speaking people will see Mashiach, but you'll even be able to see it, even the animals will see it. Zev is Nemer, the wolf and the leopard. And even the inanimate will see it. That the earth will be filled with the knowledge of God. Even the physical earth, the domim, the inanimate will be filled with the knowledge of God. So generally speaking, when it comes to classes of existence, Torah has 4 classes with an acronym Detzcham, domim, Samer, Chai, Medaber, the inanimate, the plant life, the animal life, and the speaking people. And enough said with that. And Mashiach is going to affect such a revelation of godliness in the world that godliness will be revealed in all 4 segments. Next paragraph from B'nai Maimer, and the Maimer makes an implication, and we need to understand it. If the whole world is filled with the knowledge of God, what do you need a king for? If godliness is so revealed, what do you need the king? So let's talk about it a little. What does it mean, a king? A king is someone who's exalted. So maybe we're going to say that even though the earth is filled with the knowledge of God, you still need a certain exaltedness, a certain presence, it's going to help you see it. That the king is separate and exalted from the people. And even the commands of the king, even though they're in a way of being close to the people, trying to help them, and because he loves them and bring out the best in them and guide their way, even though in this style, that he gets close to the people so that he'll be able to help them live their lives according to his instruction. and both in aromas of dull, but nevertheless, these commands that he gives are in a way of exaltedness and separation. We don't exactly get what the king is telling. I mean, a Jewish king, not a dictator. A Jewish king, someone we would pick to be our king, who's head and shoulders above us, who can see things we can't see, who shows us. For me, it's easiest to talk about the Rebbe Melech Mashiach. Some say, but well, many say, all say, whatever. Some say. Anyway, talk about the Rebbe Melech Mashiach, that he gave us certain charges to us that, we didn't understand why he was asking us to do that. We knew it was for our good. Maybe we could sniff out a little bit of it, but we don't understand exactly what he was telling us. So even though we know he's doing it for good and it's a manner of being close and interacting with us, we don't understand exactly what's flying. But Derek Kukudu Gezer, it was a decree. And so too from the point of view of the people. And it wasn't that we understood exactly why the Rebbe was commanding these things. So first was in the way he commanded it. And there's two parts here. There's the way the king commands it in a way of exaltedness and separation. He just tells the people, this is what it's going to be. I'm the king, and this is how it is. But the people have accepted the king, and they're going to do it, not because they understand it, but because he's the king. That's a nice point to be able to understand well, if we could get it. So when the Rebbe said it over, told us what to do, I'm trying to think of a particular command that would strike out, that would really bring it home. He said, look, this is your charges, kids. This is what you got to do. I'm telling you, this is what has to be done. Spread godliness, Torah, mitzvahs. Do it. More tzedakah. We did it. We didn't do it because we got it. We did it because we had fear of off for the Rebbe. So the Rebbe tells a person to give more tzedakah. It's not that the guy gets that he's going to give tzedakah and it's going to bring all this light onto his soul and it's going to make him so much happier and redeemed and peaceful. No, he might be thinking, he's going to be out money. He does it because he respects the Rebbe. You can't expect the people to get your charges. He said years because they respected the Rebbe. She did that they were not afraid of him. They had awe for him. They had a loving, I want to say they had love for him, but in a way of awe. And it turns out that even the flow from the king to the people is in a way of exaltedness and separation. First, it's just the what of what he's saying. More tzedakah. This is already a little above the people, and he's just not sure. There's 3 points to bring out. 2 from the king and 1 from the people. Let's see if I can bring it all the way out. The people, we don't get it. We do it because we have awe of the king. From the king, first he just says, look, this is my command. Comes in a way of decree and a charge. And there's just the what of that. There's the what of what he says that's exalted, removed from us. More tzedakah. And this is the way he gives it. It's also in a kingly, kind of exalted, above you type of way. Doesn't really get it. So what the king says, the way he flows it to the people, and the way the people get it, it's all in a manner of exaltedness and separation, even though they love each other very much. And this is the difference between the way a rabbi teaches his students, versus the way the king instructs his people, his nation. And when here we say a Rav, we also mean someone who's infinitely greater than the Rebbe. Works for this too, and he's a very nice candidate for Mashiach. And we're going to say Mashiach has both these qualities of being a king and a Rav. But when the Rav is teaching, he's trying to tailor-make it to the people. It should fit in them exactly who he's teaching. But when he's the king, he's just saying, look, this is from me. This is my king stuff. This is how it's got to be, and let's do it. The Rav stuff has to be more tailor-made. So it's 2 very different aspects. Even though in both he's infinitely beyond. As the Rav, he is also exalted and separate, but he brings himself down so he can connect. It's very different. So let's learn about the way the Rav gives over. Then here the Rav Humash Talmud, that the Rav the teacher gets close to his student. That he'll contract his intellect, that it'll fit for the student. He wants the student to get it perfectly. But when the king says that he's in a way of exalted and separate, he doesn't expect the people to really understand it. He just expects them to. That's the thing. He wants their good. He has in mind their good. and he expects they're going to do it. It has to like fit them to some degree. He's not going to tell them jump over the moon. But he's just saying this is how it is. You know, don't try to figure it out. He's not trying to fit it to them. He's trying to, it just is. Versus when he deals with the student, he's really reckons each individual vessel. King, he just deals with Jewish people. Okay. The king is separate from the people and his flow is separate. Completely beyond their intellect. They don't get it at all. And both these type of influences, whether it's a Rav or the king, you can find them both in Torah. How do we see it? There's things in the Torah that you kind of can wrap your head around, even though you're not really understanding it the way God understands it, because God's the infinite goodness and oneness. But still, you can kind of wrap your head around it on your level. So it's both. There is part of the Torah that you get. Or at least you imagine you get. Don't steal. You think you understand. Don't steal. But what's really into it, really behind it, what Shem truly has in mind, you don't really get that. You don't get it in on a Shem level. But you get, it makes sense to you. It fits into your noodle. But you're not really getting it. So the not really getting it part is the king aspect. Shem says, don't steal. Don't think you understand it. He's just telling you. But then it's nice. It also kind of comes into your head. I kind of get that. It's nice. In the future redemption, we shout right away, both these concepts will be revealed. That Mashiach is called a king and a teacher. In addition to teaching Torah to all the Jews, and he'll, that's such a beautiful sentence. How do you translate that? And he'll give over to them the wonderful, beautiful reasons behind all the secrets of Torah, to the point where they taste the beauty hidden in secrets of Torah. He'll give it to them so they can taste it even. In the inner dimension of Torah, and that's why he's called a Rav, because he's teaching us Torah. He's teaching us the beauty of the inner dimension of the gorgeous secrets of the tasty Torah. And nevertheless, even though he's giving it to you where you can taste it so beautifully that you can wrap your head around it and your tongue and everything else, it doesn't compare to what he understands and what he's saying. So there's a certain intellect that the Rebbe is giving over. There's what you get, but there's what the Rebbe was sending versus what you got is two very different packages. He sent over infinity, and you picked up some infinity too, but what you understood from those words and what the Rebbe understands from those words is completely different. And nevertheless, you get some of it. What he understood is just beyond. And these things that the Rebbe understands that you don't understand come in a manner of, in a transcendent way. You kind of, how you want to say, you catch it from the tone of his voice, his posture, the aura that comes off of him. You're going to stay. You pick up just that you know that the Rebbe knows infinitely more than you, and it's in those same words that you think you understand, that's already something. And it's like, wow. Rebbe triple understands, infinitely understands this compared to me. It's really something else. It's difficult to describe, but you can kind of feel it, you kind of see it. And that's similar to the type of flow of a king. So even while the Torah is teaching, there's the part that you get and there's part that's infinitely beyond. When Mashiach's teaching, there's the part you get and the part that's infinitely beyond. And you understand the way the Rebbe understands this is completely beyond you, but even within the teaching aspect, there's that king part. There's the part, he is making it for you, but there's still what he gets inside of it. It's phenomenal. Here's those of the Torah, and we could add the Alpi Yadu Shalima the Torah the Mashiach Mashalima the Skola Am Yiv Ofen the Ria, and this that Mashiach, when he teaches the people, it'll be in a manner of seeing Shemayla Masaga. That's a little higher than an understanding. Uvim Mazeh, from this we can understand the Nyanim Shishpi of Ofen the Melech Emyanim Ki Ilisha Enam Yochel Laval Gili Afilu Beria Shemayla Seichel. That the things that he gives over when he's acting as a king or in this manner of king that are completely beyond, they can't come into a revealed sense, not even with the type of seeing that's higher than Seichel. So maybe it's not what I said. So there's three things coming through when the Rebbe is teaching. At least three. So we're going to describe all three. I'm going to try to say this last sentence put together. Nevertheless, since Mashiach is also a king, nevertheless these things that are even beyond this seeing aspect that's higher than grasping, you're still going to get those, but in a transcendent way. So the Rebbe is teaching you, there's the part you get, there's his kingship aspect that's just totally beyond. When he's teaching, it's in a manner of the seeing part's hard to pin down. That the learning of the Torah of Mashiach, this that he teaches the people, to be in a manner of seeing that's higher than comprehension. If we understood that line, we could put the rest together. So there's the part you get. Then there's like the seeing aspect. It's a little higher than what you can grasp, but you see it. Figure out what that means. And then there's what's beyond that. It's just giving over as the king. All we need to know is the Rebbe is here. He is infinitely, what we think we understand, the Rebbe understands infinitely more, and want to get in touch with his understanding. All right, Mashiach now.